strangers to moving fast.
And we know how life can have that same quality.
But now
is the time to slow down
and reflect.
The events of recent weeks
highlighted the work we still need to do as a nation to condemn racial inequality and racism.
The deaths of George Floyd,
Breonna Taylor,
Ahmaud Arbery, and countless others in the Black community are heartbreaking.
Are heartbreaking and can no longer be ignored.
The process begins with us listening
and learning. Because understanding the problem
is the first step in fixing it.
We are committed
to listening with empathy
and with an open heart to better educate ourselves.
We will use this education to advocate
for change in our nation, our communities,
and most importantly, in our own homes.
Even after the headlines go away.
All of our voices, they make a difference.
No matter how big or how small.
It is all of our responsibility
to no longer be silent.
To no longer be silent.
We just can't stay silent.
We have a long road ahead of us.
But let's commit to make that journey together.
Together.
Our differences should not divide us.
It is our love for all mankind
that will unite us
as we work together
to make real change.
As we work together to make real change.
I know what you're thinking. Is this the booth, drafting the circuits, three-way theater, or the Kevin Jackson show? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I kinda lost track myself here on whobazoo.com. So, do you feel lucky, punk?
Think that I'm like doing this. Hey, babe.
Yo, what up?
I made some breakfast if you want some.
You made chili con quilas?
Yeah.
You killed it.
You remember Livette?
I do. What up, Livette? How are you? Good to see you.
Say hi to Jazz.
Yeah, again. Hey, Jazz. Everybody's here.
Hey.
Working woman. What's going on? Where are the kids?
I dropped them off at school.
You dropped them off? While you were getting your hair and makeup done?
No, I had them dropped off. It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Did you say something?
Huh?
Did you? It sounded like you said something.
No, I'm gonna get some of this bacon.
Okay.
That you made.
Huh?
Huh?
Did you want to say something to me?
No.
You didn't say anything about the bacon?
I don't think so.
He definitely said something.
Definitely said something. He is on that shit right now with me.
Well, maybe you should listen to him more.
Huh? What?
The booth. I share my world within the booth. The booth. This is all I do within the booth. The booth. A set of headphones, one microphone. Hey yo, hold the phone, I'm in the booth. The booth. I share my world within the booth. The booth. This is all I do within the booth. The booth. I got one microphone, flow glitz in the zone. Yeah, I'm the load me up, lock me in. I don't care, box me in, cause the booth got me in this brand new zone. Plug me in, turn it up, blitz gon' burn it up. Might start melting down the soundproof phone. It's one way, so it's one mode. Booth on the bus whenever I'm on the road. Lock in for days and anything goes. It's been 7 days, the same clothes. Still flowing for them dudes sitting outside on the blocks in the booth, but I'm spitting outside of the box. I know where the digits at, where the lyrics at. I ain't never losing, so I ain't gotta get it back. Got commercial music, but I still know how to spit it rap. I'm like the trees on my boots, I grew from the roots. If I'm lying, I'm flying, but I'm the truth. Only one way, my mobile or roam. I'm underground in the booth. The booth. I share my world when in the booth. The booth. This is all I do when in the booth. The booth. I got a set of headphones and one microphone. And yo, hold the phone, I'm in the booth. The booth. I share my world when in the booth. The booth. This is all I do when in the booth. The booth. I got one microphone. Yeah, I'm in the zone. Yo, Streetz is in the booth.
Was he African?
African.
No. He was American, and he was like you.
All right, it's your boy, Senator One, broadcasting live from the City of Champions. And already got my guest on with me.
Yo!
Right now.
Yo!
Introduce yourself, man.
Hey, it's me, Devin Keith, aka Diastro, aka That's it.
And we got you on here. We actually played your song, Still Happy.
Yeah.
Which is a follow-up to So Happy. Tell them about the first song.
So the first song kind of came out of me weird about my last relationship, and people just kept coming up to me and saying like, "How are you so happy amidst all the problems that are going in your life?" And I thought it was funny because it's like I didn't feel happy, so I made a song to spoof that, and it kind of turned into this positive movement that I wanted to kind of keep going with the Still Happy thing. Yeah. Yeah. If you can win over a crackhead, you can win anybody over. Yeah. Yeah, the label Cult Music, that Black Hesher, Jay Andrew, Ty Hunter on. We got a TV deal for a program called This Is a Show on USW channel. So it'll be on Roku, it'll be on Vimeo, and Vimeo, online at usvchannel.com. And in the show, This Is the Show, there's premiere the video. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. It depends on how you look at it. I've been doing rap since 2010, but I played in metal bands, and I've been around the scene for a while.
That we've been able to see you perform live, and because you bring a lot of energy when you do your show. Man. And from the beginning to the end, I think you've set out to do what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
As far as show wise.
Yeah. I have grandiose ideas of things that I expect, but it's like we were saying earlier before we went live, it's like therapy to me, so there's always an end goal or a purpose.
And sometimes you have some things in your music and sometimes in your videos visually, because you're a dad.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes you get inspiration from the things that your kids may do.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about that.
All the time. Well, like, on this new project that we did, my son recently, his mom's having a baby, my current girlfriend's having a baby, so he came up to me recently, he's 7 years old, and he asked me, where do babies come from? And I gave him a very professional answer that's not anything like what's on the album, but I have this song called Birds and the Bees that's on the new project, and I just give a very ridiculous answer throughout the whole song. He hasn't heard it. I pre-recorded his responses and everything. There's no way he could hear anything like that, but they definitely do little things that, like, I try to include them in the music when I can, and it's probably bridging the gaps there, but
no, I think that's a good thing for you to get that inspiration from your kids. Eminem has done it. A lot of artists have done that. Have channeled that energy, that positive energy.
Yeah, it's hard for the things that I do, so I kind of have to like keep what's actually happening in the music a secret from them.
And how do you keep it grounded? Because sometimes the music industry can give you a lot of pressure, and as a parent, you have to divide that. You have to keep them away from certain things. How do you balance that?
Yeah, it's really hard trying to raise a child the way that you think society wants you to raise them and the way that you think you are. So I definitely, I'll be saying this on to the public right now, but I definitely walk the line of parenting sometimes when it comes to that. But I don't include them in on the weird stuff that's in my music.
What if they ask? What if it comes that time when they ask?
You have to gauge the situation. Like they ask questions, and you kind of have to ask questions back, like to see what they already know. And a lot of the times they'll just drop it. You give an answer, and they'll be like, "Wow, you good with that? Okay, great, perfect. No further explanation needed."
and as far as music wise, what have you been doing for COVID-19? Because you had to put this project together. You had to shoot a video while practicing some type of social distancing and things like that. What have you done during this time since March?
Well, the whole thing is I just, with the quarantine thing and the Still Happy thing, is I wanted to kind of put out a project that made, because everyone's stuck in their houses and going crazy, and there's a lot of domestic violence and people not being able to deal with their kids. So opening on the album, I talk about how I'm stressed out being with my kids, and a lot of people are getting into mushrooms. I see a lot about this. So it kind of just came out of me. I wanted it to be a reflection of the times, and it'll probably be short-lived, but maybe one day we can all come back and look at the craziness that was COVID in 2020. It's very unique, the times we're in.
Yeah. I've been watching a lot of people and artists perform online, and I've been watching how everybody has had their kind of growing pains performing live on live.
Yeah.
And it's nice to watch all of these people progressing and getting better as they perform live. And I think this is going to be an outlet that's not going to go away when everything kind of opens back up. I think we've now got this outlet, and money can be made, and for an independent artist, it's there for you to succeed or there for you to fail, depending how you do it.
It's definitely shown who can make it or break it in the industry, where everyone's adapting to the changes and seeing where their weaknesses are. I see a lot of growth in artists right now. People are everything's out in the open, so everyone's kind of forced to move in a different way.
And we're seeing a lot of professional artists, big name artists, almost ruin their careers during this time.
Right.
Because they're doing things that is not right. They don't have a PR person. They're trying to do things on their own, and they're just completely effing up. While some artists who have been struggling are now getting to the top because they're doing the right things.
Yeah, it's kind of shuffled the whole deck up where people have an opportunity to be big players, when now the people who were big players are kind of having to go and adjust and play the games that the more underground artists are playing.
And it's funny, too, because you see a lot of these big-name artists who perform online, and they fail horribly with, like, sound issues and things like that. Because
they haven't done it.
Yeah, they haven't done it. They've had a sound guy forever, and now you're stuck doing this on your own. I guess you're going to respect that sound guy a little bit more.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Times to come up as a sound guy, too.
And the thing is, too, with COVID, we're watching a lot more things that are creative as far as videos go.
Yeah.
I think TikTok's seen, like, the biggest explosion of creativity and being accepted. Like, some of the stuff that you do. In one day, it could just be this exciting project because it's something nobody's seen before or heard before. But because everybody's out here, you have to seize that moment.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There was a short window of a couple days when the COVID thing happened, and my song Bacon Pancakes blew up on TikTok for like a COVID cooking challenge. But,
Wow.
Then my dusty ass got a hold of it, and the kids probably got scared.
And what are your thoughts about this? About these new ways to promote music? Like, if you get on a TikTok, a 30-second clip of your song could make you or break it and bring you millions. It's crazy.
That's what it is, and I'm seeing a lot of these one, instead of, it's not about the album anymore. It's about one-off singles, like short, maybe verse, hook, and that's it. And just for the TikTok format, you know, the really quick songs. People don't listen to whole albums, you know. It's just the song and video. That's it. Boom, boom, boom every time.
And to be honest, it drives me crazy because I think as a DJ, it's created a group of people who don't want to hear a song to the point where DJ pools offer music which are called intros and quick hits, which is like little clips of the song, because a lot of people don't want to hear the entire song no more. It's crazy.
Right.
And it's created this whole new realm of listeners, you know?
But then I also see at the same time like a resurgence of mixtapes happening too. So there's definitely growing pains of the things that are coming in and out.
And are you handling all your distribution and everything now under COVID-19? Pretty much?
Yeah, well, we did anyway. I use DistroKid and some other companies, but Cult Music recently got a business license, so we're official LLC and stuff now. So it doesn't handle distribution. We do our own distribution in-house.
Yeah, we handle distribution through DistroKid for Vianna Marie, and we love DistroKid for what they're doing for independent artists. And I just recently found out that DistroKid is the only online distributor out there that doesn't take any part of your royalties. You get 100% of your royalties. So if you're an independent artist out there and you're trying to make a decision, DistroKid is what you want to lean towards, because they're not going to take a percentage like CD Baby or TuneCore. And it allows you as an independent artist to grow.
Oh yeah, and it consolidates all the different websites. Like you can see that you get 0.00009% of a song, and it really breaks it down for you, which is scary, but it's also cool to really see where the money comes in.
Well, it's funny because Vianna Marie had performed a few weeks ago and live online, and her stream, we had issues with streams being shut down because her copyrighted music was get picked up.
Her own copyright. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I have the same problem.
Yeah, so we find that maybe Facebook should allow artists to be verified like they are on every other site, so you can perform your music without any issues.
That's a good point. There has to be some kind of way where you can prove that you have ownership over it.
And it's happening to a lot of artists, and that's the problem that we're hearing. If there was a way for them to fix that, it would definitely open the window for a lot of artists to perform live and collect revenues of money without having this shit down. So I see Van Bates is in the chat.
What up,
Vianna
bro?
Marie's in the chat.
Black Casher.
Shannon Amato is in the chat. So we got a few people in the chat. I love when recording artists come out here and jump in the chat with us. So
Hell yeah.
Before we let you go,
yeah,
I just realized you got a Dragon Ball Z shirt.
Had to rep. Super Saiyan. I'm just saying.
I'm a geek. I know this. I know the shit like that.
I respect the love for it, man. That's my shit.
And going a little bit off topic, when it comes down to Dragon Ball Z,
yeah,
and all of us guys who are fans of Dragon Ball Z, I just want to say something to all the single ladies who are looking for men. If you're walking down the street and you're looking for a good-ass guy, and you don't want to ask him or find out, but if you see a man, and this is for all you women, single women, if you see a man wearing a Dragon Ball Z shirt, catch him. And I'm going to let you know why. A lot of dads who are fans of Dragon Ball Z are fans of Goku and the friggin' relationship that he has with his sons, Gohan and Trunks. And when you watch the way Goku raises his kids, fights to the death for his kids or with his kids, because me and my boys, we grew up at a crucial time watching Dragon Ball Z. And if I had to relate my relationship with my boys, it would be the Goku family. So, ladies,
so wholesome.
If you know, and I just tell ladies that if you see a guy with a Goku shirt or a Dragon Ball Z shirt, scoop him up.
They can lay the pipe.
that relationship, father son,
You're right,
is
though.
strong. It's
Hell
strong.
yeah, man. Respect.
Yeah. So before we get you out of here,
Yeah.
let people know how they can follow you, how they can reach you, how they can listen to your music, and all your social media and stuff.
Well, I'm Diastro, Devin Keith, Code Green, Pro Psych Patient. I just did a talk show with Harrison Young. You can find that on Easton Public Access.
Oh, yeah,
Topic
good guy.
Time. Cultmusic.com. This is a show, US Weed Channel. I'm out. Thanks for having me, Keith.
All right, Van Bates is in the
Van
chat.
Bates, Black Hesher.
He called us nerds.
We are nerds.
He should talk.
Super weebs. Yeah, he's a different kind of nerd, though. He's a superhero nerd.
Yes, but he's still a nerd. He's still a nerd. Still the pot calling the kettle black.
All right, man. Enjoy the show. Thanks for having me on.
All right, man. Cool. Thanks for coming on.
All right, brother.
All right, peace. All right, that was Devin Keith, a.k.a. Black Hesher, and Diastro is his stage name, but as you heard him mention Van Bates, that's their little clique. We had Van Bates on a couple of weeks ago. And let me just go back to my view here. And got to thank him for coming on the show. So, what's up, people? Back to the booth here. And let me end the Skype. All right, so we're back here in the booth, and we're hoping to see what we got going on here. Let's see what we got going on here. Want to make sure my video is tight before we get back in here. Van Bates, what's going on? I see you in the chat. And I believe I might have lost my Skype here. Just trying to get you guys in here. All right, can you guys still hear me out there? You guys there? Need to see you guys in the chat. Make sure you guys can see me or hear me going on out there. Just trying to get my video back. It seems like I lost my video. Can you guys hear me out there? Hello? I'm going to go into a video right now. No Justice, No Peace. This is Viana Marie's video. Want you guys to check it out. And then we should have video back after this. But again, Viana Marie's No Justice, No Peace. Here's it for you guys right now.
It's shoulder to shoulder. here on Beacon Street in front of the State House. This is a peaceful protest. It has been since it started. This iteration of it started about an hour ago. Right now, people are chanting, "I can't breathe," echoing the words of George Floyd. They are calling for justice not only in this case, but in so many others where police brutality has resulted in death. What you see here is solidarity. People of all different races, all different backgrounds, all different ages. They all have the same objective.
This is the Legion. Spacebound. I grew up running from the cop car. I'ma love my right leg to the count, dog. Wanna apprehend me, I'm letting shots off. Lord man, killing niggas, I don't trust y'all. Real rap, young boy stretched out in the street. Just another child murdered by the police. Put him on trial and they getting on cheap. Took a nigga life, ain't lose no sleep. Well, it's just this, the Minnesota incident. What you call that? The girl had it on film, that was all facts. Seemed like you motherfuckers killing all blacks. Get the holler martial law when we ball back. Justice for Trey, justice for Cam. Moment of silence. I feel like the police increasing the violence. They dirty and part of the reason we follow.
No peace, no racist police. Hands up, don't shoot. Why we're still telling you. So if all lives matter, I'm saying to you. And if you care about my life, you'll understand it too. Your privilege prevents the truth from your view. So trust me.
That's all you really got once you fall up in them blocks, yeah. They'll sit in that bitch, say a rock. They gave my nigga 30 years for a rock. Dirty cop playing guns in the whip. Playing game trying to get you hung from a cliff. Court system for a time when a nigga take 20, yo, we get you 99 for the pissed up. More time than my grandmother lived. When you on that blue bird, boy, shit real. Crook cops, crooked laws. Trial date witnesses say it wasn't him, still lost. Cause he black, caught up in the criminal act. Evidence, all assumptions, no facts. Where they do that at? Gotta file it for appeals, trying to give it back.
No justice,
so we
no peace. No racist police. Hands up, don't shoot. Why we're still telling you. So if all lives matter, I'm saying to you. And if you care about my life, you'll understand it too. Your privilege prevents the truth from your view. So trust me when I'm screaming from the top of my lungs. Lives matter too. Black lives matter too. Lives matter too. Black lives matter too. Lives matter too. Black lives matter too. Lives matter too. Black lives matter too.
A lot of you guys saw me this weekend posting about a slingshot that I rented this weekend. So I got to give big props to David from Glass Street Tattoo in Manchester, New Hampshire, for the slingshot rental over the weekend. And I got to thank Tabitha Antonelli for the hookup, because if it wasn't for her mentioning to me, I would have never have found this place. I would never have known how cheaper it was a lot cheaper than the first place I looked at. So I just got to give a big shout out to her. We had a great time. You'll see some pictures popping up. Actually, I got a great picture coming up here. Let me just bring this on for you guys right now. Peep this picture over here. That's Viana Marie, Bay Holla, and Lala in the slingshot at Preem's birthday party this weekend at the Revere. They had a private 2-day party for him. And let's see here. I'm going to bring that over for you guys to check out. There you go, right there. Viana Marie in the back, Bay Holla in the seat, and Lala, who does interviews here out of Brockton. She's got a little show, Lala in the green. And it was a good weekend. It was a good time. And it was a good weekend held by all who were able to get in and ride this vehicle. It was great stuff. One of the things I did was as you can see, I got my Oscar Mike radio shirt on here for Travis Partington, Thursday nights. He's coming up on his 200th episode, which he just recorded. And I believe it airs this Thursday or it aired last Thursday. I'm not sure. I apologize. But it was his birthday this past weekend. So I had him come through, let Travis take a ride. He took a ride. Frank Zanowski, a.k.a. Z-Man. Frank and me went out. I let Frank, because anybody who has experience riding a motorcycle, I let them drive it. I let them get in the seat. I let them drive it. My son, Terrell's a race car. He races go-karts and stuff. I let him take a ride in it. And we had fun. We had a good time. Frank Zanowski and me went driving around. Good stuff, So it's nice to be able to give people a good time, Van Bates said, song is tight. Got to get on the freeway. Peace out, y'all. Thanks, Van Bates, for checking in with us in the chat. Devin Keith, if you're still watching the show, if you can you drop some links and things like that in the chat so people can check you out? Also, I got to mention some stuff coming up in the news booth that we've got coming up here. So in the news booth, I've got a friend of mine, Eric Phillips, who I went to school with. Eric Phillips, I went to Southeastern Regional with back in the day. He was this kid who, he had an issue way back in high school. And he was dealing with chronic pain. So he wrote a book, Complex Regional Pain Syndrome. He's done a lot of studies and things like that. He actually wrote a volume 1 book, and it was published, and here we are now. He has written a follow-up to that book, which was released on Amazon, I think, last week. So it is available. It's a book about anybody who deals with different types of chronic regional pain and the patient's perspective of living in chronic pain. So for those who know, my mom, she suffered from SPS, stiff person syndrome, which was a rare disease. It only affected 1 million people. It was the equivalent of when you get a leg cramp in your calf muscle. You got that through your entire body. And that's the type of chronic pain she dealt with. There are people who suffer from lupus and other issues who deal with chronic pain. His is a chronic complex regional pain syndrome. I'm actually going to reach out to Eric and see if I can get Eric to come on this show. If I can get Eric to come on this show, I think it'd be a great cause for people to tune in and listen to what he has to say. Also, you want to check out the book, because sometimes dealing with chronic pain leads to other bad issues. This is how people end up addicted to painkillers and things like that. So I think I'm going to try to, instead of trying to speak on this and not know what I'm speaking on, I think I'll try to reach out to Eric and get Eric on the show. We'll promote this and make sure that everybody can tune in to make sure they hear Eric talk. But if you can, jump on Amazon, grab his book, and check it out. In San Diego, 22 people were injured after an explosion on a naval ship in San Diego. 22 people were injured. Thank God no deaths happened at all. That's one of the things I'm glad of. And at this time, we just know that it was an explosion in what they call the Deep 5 section, is what they called it, I believe. And it really wasn't said what happened yet, but I'm just glad there was no loss of life. the ship was burning pretty bad. I think when I first shared the live, it was at one area, and then within hours, the ship was engulfed from the middle of the ship to the front of the ship. So it was a pretty bad fire. Thankfully, at this time there was no loss of life. We really haven't heard exactly what happened, so hopefully they will update us and let us know what's going on. On Twitter, got to talk about this one here. Twitter, the NRA released this tweet. Now, in my opinion, under this climate that we have, it doesn't surprise me that we hear or see the NRA do something like this. And what it is they tweeted this tweet. The AR-15 is the modern-day musket, an everyday gun for everyday citizens. Now, the reason why the NRA posted this is due to the fact that, remember the story in St. Louis where they had the husband and wife, the McCluskeys, the lawyers, they were ambulance chasers, had this big mansion, and they were protecting their property under their rights. What happened was that the government has now gone in and they actually raided their house and took their guns, confiscated their guns. So the NRA kind of released this tweet in regards to them. And the scary thing about this is that there were gun store owners in St. Louis and there were gun store owners across the country who felt bad for them and were offering them free guns to replace the guns that were seized by the task force. And it made me think and made me wonder about how this is what we were talking about when I talked about the double standard and why people talk about, and I hate to bring up race, but people talk about white privilege. They were practicing their amendment, their rights to protect their home. Nobody's arguing with that at all in any way. The problem here is that now all of a sudden everybody is sympathetic towards them because now they've had their guns seized, and I feel like, okay, well, where was everybody when Philando Castile was murdered by a police officer? Where was the NRA? Why were they not tweeting for Philando Castile? He was a licensed gun owner. He was legally carrying. He did everything that he should do as a legal gun owner when pulled over. Yet he was still murdered by a police officer who was scared for his life. Why are you scared for your life? He told you he was a gun owner. He was a licensed gun owner. Where the hell was the NRA with the tweet after Philando Castile was killed? So see what I'm saying, people? I don't want to, and I've said this before, race is this Jedi mind trick that I feel is going on right now behind the scenes. But my problem here is that I think we need to really think about some of these things that are going on while we're trying to fix it. And this right here, the NRA is really one of the things we need to look at, because I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with it. Also, moving on in legal booth, because that was part of the legal booth. Tory Lanez was arrested. Caught a felony charge for an illegal weapon, carrying a gun, hanging out with Megan Thee Stallion. They were at actually Kylie Jenner's house for a party during COVID-19. Well, it is California. California did open everything back up, so we can't really beat them up on that. But the point is that Tory Lanez had a gun in the vehicle. What happened was it was an incident at the house, and supposedly shots were fired, and they took off from the scene. There was broken glass in the car. Megan Thee Stallion cut her foot in the car, and so on and so on and so on. The problem here is that they get pulled over. Tory Lanez does not have a license to carry. My question is why? Again, age-old question. Here we are again, a successful rapper, entertainment personality. There are a lot of things that you can do to avoid this. One, get your license to carry. Number one, get your license to carry. If you've got no priors, if you've got no record, you're in the entertainment industry. Rappers get shot and killed all the time. Get yourself a permit to carry. If you don't want to get a permit to carry because you like to smoke the weed or whatever, guess what? Hire security. Get a driver, hire security. Then your career is not at risk or catching a gun charge because of this. I think it's stupid. I think it's asinine when I see successful young black men in the entertainment business, and we see this in sports. We see this in the NFL. We see this in the NBA. We see this all the time. Young black men being caught with illegal guns and getting ready to do time or getting ready to pay a lot of money out their butts to stay and keep their freedom. We need to educate. We need to do something better. I don't know. I don't get it, and I just wish we could get this straight. It just gets aggravating time and time again to read these stories like this. Tory Lanez, a successful artist. Who knows? It's a felony gun charge. This is a serious offense. So who knows what's going to happen. Megan Thee Stallion, her career is popping right now. Just released a new single, Girls in the Hood. Now she was in the hospital, cut her foot. Thank God we're not in a time where she would have had to cancel shows. You know what I'm saying? We're lucky with that. So think about that, people. Just think about it, okay? Also, let's head into entertainment booth. Recording artist BMG has released their new single, Grizzly. Came out actually yesterday. So if you haven't copped it, check it out. It's out there on iTunes, Spotify, all these other social media outlets if you want to check that out. Grizzly. And like I said, it's on iTunes, so you can go out there. It's a mere 99 cents. Look, most y'all are staying home. It's you got money coming in. If you got money coming in, bring it out. Take that 99 cents and you can buy yourself Grizzly, the single Grizzly. Also, in entertainment news, coming out of Hollywood, actress Kelly Preston passed away. She lost her battle with breast cancer at the age of 57. For those who don't remember, the actress Kelly Preston was coming along. She was coming along well. She actually married John Travolta. She was John Travolta's wife for a long time, and she was one of these people who actually kind of gave up her acting career. Her career was about to blow up, but John and her were a great pair. They've had kids. Kelly is one of these people who kind of put her career aside to raise the children while John stayed acting. But again, 57 years old, lost her life to breast cancer. It's just sad. Just sad. A lot of horrible news coming out of 2020. Unbelievable. Also in the entertainment booth, Star Wars and Disney Plus announced The Bad Batch animated series, because Clone Wars has ended. Clone Wars, a great animated series, Star Wars, based on the Star Wars world. If you guys have ever watched Star Wars animated series... Oh, actually, I can take these off because I'm not on Skype no more. Like an idiot. The Bad Batch. So, if you remember Stormtroopers are clones. So this takes place shortly after the Clone Wars, and they're still making clones to build their units, their Stormtrooper units. And what happens is the Bad Batch are clones that have issues. It makes them unique. So what they're doing with the Bad Batches is that these certain clones will not become stormtroopers. These certain clones will be handling like the special ops missions. So I guess they're going to be a lot more unique and different than the Republic Commandos, which we saw in the Star Wars games and some of the Star Wars storylines. So I'm dying to see the interest there with the Bad Batch. I myself, so far, everything that Disney has put their hands on has been perfect. Like, it's been great. So I want to check it out. Also in Disney Plus news, which isn't in my notes here and isn't on the website, I got to mention, the X-Men movies started to hit Disney Plus this weekend. For those who don't know, Disney has acquired Fox, which now allows them to play the Fox Marvel movies. Now, I watched Days of Future Past, X-Men, which was one that I actually had started to watch, and then I didn't get to finish watching it. I finally watched it from beginning to end. As an X-Men fan, I always love seeing Wolverine on the screen. Always love seeing Wolverine on the screen, but I had a few problems with Days of Future Past, and this movie's been out for a long time. So Wolverine goes back into time, but he doesn't have his adamantium. He's got his bone claws. The problem here is that in the comic book, when he had his bone claws broke easy. There was an issue with the claws broke. There was some things that happened in this movie that was kind of like, oh, okay, I can't see him doing these type of things with bone claws, even with the mutant healing factor. And then the end of Days of Future Past. Oh, can I mention it? Is it? Can I spoil something if it's been out forever? As a comic book fan, at the end of the film, they bring Logan up from the water, Wolverine, and Stryker is actually Mystique at the end of this film. Which, kind of in the MCU, they're trying to say that it's Mystique as Stryker who eventually takes Wolverine and makes him Weapon X and puts the adamantium on him, and that makes absolutely no sense at all. When Stryker was his own character, he was his own guy. He had his reasons for doing all of this. So I don't understand where this is going to work into the MCU and how Mystique is the one that takes Wolverine to get his adamant. I don't know. I just like to know that's a hole right there. That's a hole right there. So I'm going to have to rewatch a lot of my X-Men films and Logan films to see how they could pull this one off. I don't know. It was kind of aggravating. Also in entertainment news, man, and I hate to say that, we kind of saw this coming, because ever since she had left the show, she has been nothing but problems for this young woman for the longest time, and it's tough to see Naya Rivera dead at 33, but it's almost kind of like we seen this coming. She had problems on the show. She had problems with her new husband, abuse issues. She actually was out in the water with her son, 4-year-old son. They was swimming outside off of their pontoon boat, and I guess she got tired or something. Some type of distress happened. She was able to get her son back to the boat, and then she went under. She didn't return. 5 days later, they found her body on shore, and confirmed that it was her body, and she had drowned. The problem here is that, like I said, she's had a ton of problems. She's had problems with her husband, to the point where she almost lost custody of her kid. She almost actually went to jail, but he went to court and fought for her to not end up in jail. I think she got like a reduced sentence, maybe some stuff. But she's just had a rough life, Big Sean wrote a whole song. I Don't F With You was all about her, Naya Rivera. Talking about how crazy she was and all this stuff when he started dating Ariana Grande. So it's a tough story, and it's just tragic because that original Glee cast has been surrounded in horrible. It's just been horrible. I don't get it. Cory Monteith, who played Finn, he overdosed and died. Puck, Mark Salling, he hung himself after being charged with, I think he was charged with rape or something like that, but he hung himself in like 2018. And actually Finn's death is the anniversary for his death. The 6-year anniversary for his death, 7-year, was today. Just days after her death. It's just crazy. It's like that whole friggin' cast has been cursed. I just don't get it. It's sad. Such a young talent, and I just don't know where we go from here. But my prayers, blessings go out to the family. Sports booth, Redskins, done. Logo, name, all done. Now, my dad actually gave me some info and said this has actually been going on since the 60s. And he said that the Redskins were the last team to integrate. They fought and they were the last ones to, integrate their team for the NFL. Crazy. So now the Redskins, Dan Snyder, the owner, they're going to change this name. They're going to have to come up with a logo and everything. And there's a lot of talk going around. There's a talk of them possibly going with the DC Red Tails based on the Tuskegee Airmen. But to be honest, that's Red Tails and the Tuskegee Airmen, I like it, but it doesn't. A team should represent everyone as a whole, not just one group of people. So, like the New England Patriots, it represents those who fought against the British, and there were blacks and whites as patriots in that fight against the British Revolution. So, I always feel like it should be something that represents everyone. And look, as much as I would like, funny thing is, I just watched the movie Red Tails. As much as I would like to see it be the DC Red Tails, I don't think it's right. It only represents one group. Let's go with something that represents everyone. Now, to be honest, I feel like part of this is because, one, Dan Snyder has run that whole franchise into the ground. They're losing money left and right. And if we didn't have COVID-19, the Redskins had serious problems there. For those who weren't paying attention before COVID-19, the XFL was on a full steam run. They were getting ready to head to the playoffs. Everything was positive about them. They were coming back. But one of the things that was going on in the XFL was this DC Defender team. That DC Defender team, every week, I just had a fly in front of my face. Every week, the DC Defender fan base was growing. It was one of the fastest growing fan bases in the XFL, next to Seattle, which is funny because both those markets have a loyal fan base, a super loyal fan base. But the Redskins fans were so tired of the Dan Snyder antics and the Dan Snyder things that were going on. Look, Dan Snyder didn't care about that team. It's a tax write-off to him. Dan Snyder put the greatest Redskins team of all time on paper out there. Bruce Smith, Deion Sanders. That team that year on paper was the best, but they were all out of their prime. It was a waste. It was the biggest waste of money ever. So for Dan Snyder to come out and do this now, I feel like they're doing it now because this is the climate. Because this has been an issue long before this. This isn't new. So I feel like they're doing it now, and they know what a logo and name change does for an NFL team. We've seen it with the Patriots. We've seen it with all these teams who've changed their logos. It's a big, huge moneymaker, and they're going to use this climate as their reasoning as to why they're doing this. Are they doing it because Dan Snyder had people walk out and say that this needs to be done? Are they giving in to the culture? Maybe. But part of me feels like I don't think so. I think money-wise, they saw the success of the DC Defenders, and they saw the DC Defenders merchandise was cutting in to the Redskins merchandise. It was no secret. You go on Facebook fan pages, and they were telling you the stores were selling out of DC Defenders merchandise every week. If they won, the merchandise was selling like hotcakes. And the Redskins stuff was still there. So they knew that they had something happening. So I feel like this is more than meets the eye. Now, I myself, if I'm a marketing guy for the Redskins and we need to change this logo and change this name, my feeling is you reach out to Vince McMahon and you ask if the DC Defenders logo and name is up for sale. McMahon's a businessman. I think McMahon would take that. And I think the DC Defenders would be a nice little change. Bring that in the NFL. It's a nice little story. You bring it to the NFL. You say this was a former XFL team name and logo. It fits the team. DC Defenders. It's a no-brainer. It's a no friggin' brainer. That's all I gotta say on that one. You know? Also, let's get into Trump troubles here. Trump troubles. Mary Trump's book will now move forward. Judge gave the green light. Now, Mary Trump wrote this book. It's a tell-all book on the entire, not just Donald Trump. So I just want to get this right. She didn't just write a book about just Donald Trump. She wrote a book about the whole damn family. Whole damn family. So we're going to get the dirt on Donald Trump. We're going to get the dirt on Donald Trump Jr. We're probably going to get the dirt on Ivanka. We're going to probably get the dirt on the whole shebang. Now, some of the stuff that she's talking about is stuff that we've talked about on this show and how we felt the type of person he was from when we watched The Apprentice or when we watched him at press conferences. You know, one of the things that's glaring out to me that she talked about is that he didn't want to win this election. He only went to this to boost his brand, to put his name out. He wasn't looking to win. And I felt that way. So we'll see. The book was actually released today. It's available on all outlets where you buy, online books and all that stuff. Pretty sure it's going to be the #1 bestseller next week. People will be talking about it. People will probably be bashing her. But they actually, this is actually the second book that they try to have stopped from being sold and put out in the markets. So we'll see. We want to check that out. And we'll, actually, I might see about even reading it myself and doing what I need to do. So I can report back to you guys. Because that's how I am. Other than that, that's it. I want to thank everybody for calling in to the show, chat-wise. I got to thank my guest, Devin Keith, a.k.a. Diastro, for coming on the show tonight. And I got to say thank you for everyone supporting me over the weekend with the going crazy with the videos and pictures of the slingshot. It was just a fun time. We were real happy. I'm on vacation this week from my normal gig, so I'm real happy to be able to share some of that with you people. It did rain Tuesday. We were actually supposed to go up to the Kangamangas Highway in New Hampshire, and that was going to be our final ride on this slingshot for the day, but it poured so bad. I got caught in a rainstorm. It was so bad. The visibility, I might as well have been driving like this. I had to pull over, couldn't see, pull over to the right, and I had to wait till the rain passed, and it got 3 o'clock, and I looked at the Doppler report on weather.com, which is great for anybody who rides a motorcycle. If you don't have weather.com on your app on your phone, you're out of your mind. The Doppler radar will tell you, where the rain is, where it's going to pass. It actually goes ahead so many hours, so you can actually see when it's going to be gone. And I looked at the Doppler, and it was kind of like, damn, you know what? We're heading up the Kangamangas Highway, and I really I didn't feel comfortable with the way the rain was, and I had a very unlucky ride to New Hampshire to begin with. So I kind of just said, you know what, whatever, I'm done with this. We're going to drop it off at the rental spot, and then I'm just going to head home. And that's what we did. You know what, it was just better to be safe than sorry. I'm looking probably. I think I'm going to go buy one. I went for a ride. Z-Man went for a ride. Look, all the people close to me went for a ride. John C. Williams, community guy here in Brockton, I took him for a ride. And a lot of people say, yeah, but Keith, man, it's not like riding your motorcycle. I can't see how you can let your motorcycle go. I can't see how you can look. I have a Suzuki TL 1000. It's a nice bike, great bike. The problem is society today. It's the people today. They don't pay attention. They don't look for you on the road. They don't care about you on the road. People today, you might as well just take all the yield signs off the on-ramps here in Massachusetts. Why? Because nobody yields coming onto the highway anymore. Everybody comes on the highway and goes across 3 lanes of traffic to get to the high-speed lane. I'm on a bike. I'm done. People texting while driving, not paying attention, not stopping. Rear ends have got to be up across the country. People getting rear-ended because people are too busy texting. I'm on my TL 1000. I get rear-ended. Boom. I'm either paralyzed, dead, or whatever. I'm not a young kid no more. I'm not bouncing back in 3 to 4 months. And every time I went to go put my bike on the road, somebody close to me has gone down. I was about to put my bike on the road about 2 months ago. I was like, let me reach out to so and so. Let's get this bike on the road. Let me have the bike for the summer. It's COVID-19. I'm not doing much. It'd be nice to go out for a ride. Blah 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 blah. And a good friend of mine, Rich Late, and his fiance, they went down. He's looking at he's now 6 months rehab. 6 months rehab. I can't afford that. You know what I'm saying? People can't afford that. If you get hurt at work, you got comp. But if you get in a car accident or a motorcycle accident outside of work, and you're down 6 months. Granted, insurance has PIP, but it ain't all that. You still got bills to pay. You still got nah. At least if I'm in a slingshot, I got a very serious chance of walking away. Number one, and number two, everybody sees you in a slingshot. When I say everybody sees you, we drove that bike around all weekend long, and I think more people waved to us and saw us in that bike than any motorcycle I ever rode. It was just from kid, and look, it was from every age, from kids to old ass. I had old people, 80, 90 years old, talking, waving and looking and talking and noticing. I was happy to see old people notice me in it. Why? Because some of those are the people who are going to be running into you. Not that, I don't want to be mean, but just saying, some of these people out for their Sunday drive, going to church on Sunday morning, gotta be careful. So, hey, I gotta get ready to get out of here. It's a good show. You guys gotta check out Mattie C Sports for You and Me podcast. Mattie C got a brand new logo, got the Cobra up in there. Great stuff. Travis Partington coming up on his 200th episode. Recorded it last week, had his celebration guitar. Drafting the Circuits, those guys. NASCAR's been in the news. I hope you guys have been listening to Drafting the Circuits every Thursday night. There's been a lot to talk about. NASCAR racing is back. The All-Star race is, I believe, this weekend is coming up. So you want to check that out. Check them out. Also, as I mentioned during the show again, Grizzly. BMG's newest release, Grizzly, has been released. It's on iTunes. It's out there. Viana Marie also released an EP. Want to check that out. Oh, actually, there is something I want to talk about. Breaking news. Real quick. I got to put this up here for you guys before we get out of here. This bill passed in Massachusetts today, 5 a.m., around 5 a.m., 4:30 this morning. So here's the thing with me on voting in the morning like this. Why do they have these votes like this early in the morning and vote on stuff without everybody knowing and people not being able to be contacted so they can be there? So this is the police reform bill that just passed in Massachusetts. The pros, it bans chokeholds. All officers will receive racial bias training, which, to be honest, they should have been getting from the get-go. Why weren't we having these before? As you can see, limits militarization, police certifications. Now, a lot of these cops are already getting certifications and things like this. So I'm trying to see what kind of certifications they were getting, because a lot of these cops were getting paid for getting their certifications. Consequences for bad police officers. Again, that's a union thing. The cons: no public hearings, no body cameras, negative impact to good police officers, unfunded mandates for communities. This is the cons. The police reform bill, to me, I applaud to a point. But as I've said before, in my honest opinion, a lot of the things that are going on right now... I got a dog in the background. Tori. Pay attention, people. This police reform bill here, and some of the things that are going on, straight, to me, is union busting. A lot of the stuff that's going on with the hospitals, the schools, all of these things that are taking a hit, as I've said before, straight union busting. So pay attention, people. I mean it. Because right now, the police reform bill and the defunding of certain police departments, the unions take a big hit. Schools already talking about heading to online schooling everywhere. Colleges, public schooling, everywhere. Once you start making the majority of kids do online schooling, you won't need as many teachers. You can defund some of these schools now, because you won't need to pay for brick and mortar schools if the majority is going online. You can condense your schools in the city. You can condense the amount of teachers you have. That's another union gone. Hospitals. There are hospitals that they're already talking about cutting fundings here and there. Nurses unions. Hurt. All under attack. Postal workers were already under attack early on. Postal union. Under attack. So pay attention, people. I'm just letting you know this. Pay attention to what's going on. Because while you're over here talking about race issues, the middle class over here, we're losing jobs left and right. We're losing those who lobby for us in Washington. And if we have no strong lobbying groups for the middle class, we're done. We're done, as Mike said, union rep for 264. So, think about it. Think about it. Other than that, it's been a great show. Again, I got to thank my man, Diastro, Devin Keith, for coming on the show. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this out with a little funny. Again, I'm going to show this little ad from Geico and bring this up, and then we'll have SpongeBob take us home. So again, thanks for tuning in to the booth, everybody. Here's a Geico ad with DJ Khaled. Here we go.
Devin, did you know Geico is now offering an extra 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies?
Okay.
That's 15% on top of what Geico could already save you. So what are you waiting for? DJ Khaled to be your motivational coach?
Yo, Devin, remember to brush in a circle motion. Thank you, DJ Khaled. Tiny circles, Devin. Do another one. Another one. Is this good? Put in that work, Devin. Don't give up.
Geico. Save an extra 15% when you switch by October 7th.
Don't play yourself. Hit subscribe to play more great Geico videos. And don't forget to share.
Well, see you next Tuesday.
Thank you for listening to The Booth on Hoobazoo and HatcherRadio.com. Please follow the Facebook page and subscribe to the podcast at Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. The Booth is a Sinister One production hosted by Sinister One.
I've got to start hanging out with friends that are a little more intelligent and understand politics and stuff. It's just that I'm up on this level up here, and all my friends are down here. Me, nah. You guys, nah. Maybe a little more down in here. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
I smoke, I drink, I do my thing. These bitches hating, so you know I got to make it plain. Don't do cocaine with your chick, my main. We stick together, true forever, yeah, you know we bang. I miss those days, which was easy. If only I made it, this don't repeat. Now that I done upgraded, I've been upstate, and y'all think I'm playing. And I got a hit now for these weak ass hoes who think I ain't slaying. Try me, and I'll probably end up laughing. fighting cause I never back down. I'm that chick with a clean ass whip. I don't need that shit. She's like, I'm my own now. I ain't hurt, I get tired of fussing, fighting, guess I gotta crack down. Don't mess with me, cause on everything, I'ma have to bring the whole city out.
WHOOBAZOO, that's whoobazoo.com.
website, hit your website, hit your website, hit your website.
Think that I'm like doing this. Hey, babe.
Yo, what up?
I made some breakfast if you want some.
You made chili con quilos?
Yeah.
You killed it.
You remember Livette?
I do. What up, Livette? How are you? Good to see you.
Say hi to Jasmine.
Yeah, again. Hey, Jazz. Everybody's here.
Hey.
Working woman. What's going on? Where the kids?
I dropped them off at school.
You dropped them off while you're getting your hair and makeup done?
No, I had them dropped off. It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Did you say something?
Huh?
Did you? It sounded like you said something.
Oh, no. I'm gonna get some of this bacon.
Okay.
That you made.
Huh?
Huh?
Did you want to say something to me?
No.
You didn't say anything about the bacon?
I don't think so.
He definitely said something.
Definitely said something.
He
is on that shit right now with me.
Maybe you should listen to him more.
Huh? What?
The truth is, these kids need discipline. You know, I really believe they want to be pushed to the limit. And then good stuff happens.
Harmon! Harmon!
What the hell?
Okay, make way. Clear out. This is heat exhaustion. I'm gonna cool down his core. Take his pants off.
Hey, you really don't need to film this, all right?
Where are you gonna put that rod? Hold his leg up. Stand back.
Wait. Oh, oh, oh!
Oh, God!
Hey, I said don't film this. Get away from Move out of the way.
You'll be all right, son. In good hands. Is everything okay? Are you all right?
Am I gonna What's... Whoa!
Okay, we got another one. Take his pants off. I'm gonna have to cool down his core.
Hey, he looks pretty bad. You might want to use two of those.
Gotcha. Back away.
You're filming this, right?
No, this is bad. Don't...
Lucky bastard.